To you.
A man that gave me 10 kids.
Good evening, I'm Dan Rather, and tonight on CBS News.
In a shocking development, the federal government says being broke is allowed, but if you're broke and glowing, you are officially now a suspect.
You can't be glowing more than your financial status. Look your problem.
Producers have confirmed next season of Love Island will merge with the Hunger Games. Only one couple will survive the new format. Everyone else dies.
Senator Buck Nutley has unveiled his Big Girthy bill, a new proposal meant to rival the Big Beautiful bill. But does size really matter?
The shocking trend of Labubu violation continues as more and more people are finding their dolls' holes stretched wide open and reeking of shame.
If you thought Bigfoot was bad, wait till you meet his gooey cousin. A kumsquatch was just spotted in Dongwood National Forest.
Did you know IKEA has released a home glory hole kit called the Fuke Hole? It includes pre-drilled panels, mounting brackets, and a stain-proof finish. We begin with breaking news out of Massachusetts, where residents are reeling from what scientists are calling a cum-comet impact.
Officials are asking everyone to stay indoors and to wear N95 masks in case of cum aerolization.
President Trump kicking off another busy week at the White House.
It has been yet another eventful week in Washington.
The activity level is off the charts. The president dialed in. He is executing his agenda at a lightning fast pace. Here's something we rarely see in American politics. President Trump is actually keeping his campaign promises, and he's doing them as quickly as possible.
This administration's moving at political light speed, and they're just getting started.
We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do what I'm doing. Goodbye. We love you. We will be back in some form. Have a good life. We will see you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's official. Former President Donald Trump will be running for president again in 2024.
Donald Trump got the stamina and the will to do this again? He's come under such tremendous...
Everything is on the line in this election.
A busy day in the campaign world up in Butler today. Former President Trump holding a rally at 5 o'clock.
He just tried to kill President Trump.
Not even an assassin.
If we're not careful, AI could make it impossible to distinguish truth from fiction in the news we consume.
So, Keisha, what's a high-value man to you?
A man that gave me 10 kids, 3 evictions, $10 on Cash App, and still pull up in a Nissan Altima that sound like he got...
Good evening, I'm Tom Tucker with some breaking news. A local kidnapping has rocked Quahog tonight. Rocked Quahog? Really? The whole town is... the family, maybe, is rocked, but the whole... All right, well, in any event, we now go live to Asian reporter Tricia Takanawa. Let's see how much she's rocked by all this. Tricia?
Tom, I'm standing here with Mayor Adam West with the latest information about the disappearance of young Scotty Jennings. What can you tell us, Mr. Mayor?
Please, Mr. Mayor is my father. Call me John Mayor. Your body is a wonderland, by the way.
What is the city doing to help rescue the missing boy?
Well, we're looking for this child using all the latest technology, including the newest, most advanced multimedia milk cartons.
Help me, I'm missing! Help! Why are you still eating breakfast? I'm kidnapped! Why are you turning me the other way? I'm still here!
Day one of trying to make it to work without yelling at a pedestrian. Pray for me, y'all. Still alive. Still unemployed. But baby, I look G-O-D doing it. Oh my God. I'm not even late. I'm just dramatic. Y'all know I will risk it all for a good melon.
We have breaking news. A laser-guided ship missile has just been launched from Rectomopolis, reportedly targeting 𝐇𝐎𝐿.
We're live from the scene where a laser-guided ship missile launched from Rectomopolis has struck 𝐇𝐎𝐿. This just in, a pubnadal blankets St. Louis in a thick bush this evening.
Downtown is completely covered in pubic hair, causing highways to close out of caution.
It's coming right for us. We need to get out of here now. Oh my God, it's taking the houses. A massive gizzard has buried 𝐶𝐿 in 2 feet of dong load. Locals blame the lack of preparation on Mayor Linda P. Slurp.
The city of Columbus is reeling today after an unprecedented event. What officials are calling a gizzard has left downtown streets. Customs officials at Orbital Port 69 have seized over 420 stolen jork blades, many still warm and dripping. A magnitude 6.9 𝐕𝐈𝐃 rattled Clamlip Valley this morning, releasing a torrent of pussy farts. The children's reading session of This Little Piggy Got Pegged has been cancelled, with parents saying the book is too anatomically detailed for kids.
Lawmakers remain deadlocked on the big beautiful bill, with some saying $10 billion more is needed for fleshlights and robo-cooters for dudes on dry spells. Los Angeles, because she served her fried chicken instead of a quinoa salad. Megan Mayonnaise went to the restaurant called The Last Supper, where she claims she was flabbergasted that they would serve her fried chicken when she in fact ordered a quinoa salad. Ms. Mayonnaise said waitress 𝐶harkeisha Trinity knowingly gave her fried chicken, although Ms. Mayonnaise pleaded that she didn't want to eat any urban food. We have Ms. Mayonnaise along with her attorney, Roger Bangher. Can you explain how you were feeling, Ms. Mayonnaise?
I told 𝐶harkeisha Trinity 300 times, let me speak with your manager. And she just kept twerking, sticking her tongue out and laughing at me.
We have exclusive CCTV footage from the restaurant of Miss Mayonnaise and 𝐶harkeisha's fried chicken confrontation. Miss Mayonnaise is suing 𝐶harkeisha Trinity for everything she got, which is 3 deadbeat fathers and $100 in unpaid child support.
We need your $80,000 down payment now.
Can I do 6 child support checks, 1 EBT card, 10 Section 8 credits, and 2 Medicaid payments?
We take it all.
Welcome back to White News Network. I'm your host, Kimberly Kumquat. Today, the BFI released documents that claim no special files exist from that one famous island. Wink, wink. BFI director said, quote unquote, although you've seen plenty of known people at that island, no American people, you were just seeing shit. The BFI office also released perfectly edited 24-hour surveillance footage of that jail cell where the main guy in charge was being held. At this point, these guys are playing in our face. Most of you are too blind to see it.
Welcome back, folks, to the White News Network. I'm your host, Tom Blandley, and tonight a white woman is leaving her husband after trying a YN. HOA President Skylar White told WNN she is filing for divorce because, quote unquote, after trying a YN, you never go back. Her husband, Kevin White, owner of Proud Boys Country Club, says he is devastated by the news and that it is, quote unquote, total malarkey. The divorce hearing is set for July 13th at Cornbread District Family Court. If Mrs. White wins, she will be entitled to half of his shit that she never worked for. Next up, rock star Roger Bangher has already impregnated 3 women on his Fuckfest tour. But first, a word from our sponsor.
WHR, would y'all let me fly the plane to Iran? I thought B2 was my apartment number. Oh my God, did I just start the war?
Introducing ChatEBT, the newest AI software limited only to 13% of people. ChatEBT isn't just another basic AI myth. It's built for real-life situations. Let's showcase an example of a man asking for food recommendations.
I'm starving, gang. Let's open chat EBT. What should I eat tonight?
ChatEBT is fully aligned with real-time data, giving you the most accurate, up-to-date definitions anywhere.
Define child support.
Unless you ask it to define child support. But ChatEBT isn't just about words or recommendations now. It helps with your everyday tasks and repairs, giving you the best solutions in real time. Here's an example.
Dude, this thing is so annoying, man. ChatEBT, how do I fix this?
You don't, Nick. Thank you all for your time today. We're excited for you to experience the future with ChatEBT. We'll see you soon.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Hey, let's do some news, man. News desk. Yo, salute to the chat. Yo, Irvin Reed, Lord of Brooklyn. Saul in the building. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? And I seen Brother Zeke up in here. And Universal Black. What up? All right, I know, let's start put one in the chat if you can hear me. Let's start the top off with some lefties losing it. Mad people losing their jobs. Salute, Lord of Brooklyn. Hit the like button on the way in. We're going to get down to it. Let me turn my chat on. Bang. There we go. All right. Yeah, last night's broadcast was good. We had a good show. And I got some about the numbers tonight. We're going to go over some numbers with our Mark over at Rasmussen at the end of the show. All right, let's do some lefties losing it.
Charlie Kirk's assassination. U.S. teachers, doctors, and pilots have all been sacked, suspended, or had their employment placed under review. But that hasn't stopped dim-witted lefties from pursuing the same self-destructive path.
Yo, homie dead! Yo, homie dead! He got shot in the head! Yo, homie dead!
But it's a case of, as the kids say, F around and find out. Texan Governor Greg Abbott later tweeting the woman had been expelled from her college. Meanwhile, best-selling author 𝐄𝐍𝐵𝐾𝐒 went off on an unhinged rant in a ridiculous attempt to gloss over the alleged shooter's leftist radicalization.
Shocker, the shooter was a cis white man from a Trump-supporting family who was raised...
And they flipping out now that the governor and told them otherwise. Quiet storm in the building. What up, Playboy? We in here. I was in class tonight too. I found the access code to the Zoom. We in here. Let's jump back to the beginning of that. Yo, these Keishas catching strays jumping in the middle of something that don't got nothing to do with them. Last I checked, it was it was a dude messing with a trans white male who's a furry. That means he dresses up like a teddy bear. And bro, the story's getting weirder and weirder. Let's look at this 𝐊𝐒 crash out again.
Placed under review. But that hasn't stopped dim-witted lefties from pursuing the same self-destructive path.
Yo, homie dead! Yo, homie dead! He got shot in the head! Yo, homie dead!
But it's a case of, as the kids say, F around and find out. Texan Governor Greg Abbott later tweeting the woman had been expelled from her college.
Yo, look at her face. She looks shocked. Like, I got arrested? Yeah, 𝐊𝐒, you're not a Becky. And the Beckys is getting it too. Yo, and her mugshot looked terrible. She frowning like she got the I effed around and found out look on her face here and on the mugshot. She's expelled from school and arrested. What a way to go. And she's in Texas too, so the governor ain't playing that.
Meanwhile, best-selling author 𝐷𝐿𝐷𝐿 went off on an unhinged rant in a ridiculous attempt to gloss over the alleged shooter's leftist radical.
Yo, spot on. Little Brooklyn said an opportunity at being the center of attention is too much to resist. I was saying this to Saul before we got off, before the show. Like this, and I said it on the Sunday show. This is the first time in recent modern history where the full weight of the federal government is not directed at the FBA black man. Or black people in particular, but the FBI in general, but the black FBA black men in particular. And some of these 𝐊𝐒s and some of these hoteps, they got main character syndrome. Like, this ain't about you, man. Sit this one out. Like, you don't want to get involved between nothing with the federal government and transformers dressing up like furries. It's too weird, bro. Like, yeah, it's the 𝐊𝐒 crash tour. He says she's Lizzo light. That's funny. She does look a little bit like Lizzo. She got a cute face.
Radicalization.
Shocker, the shooter was a cis white man from a Trump-supporting family who was raised to love guns.
Seriously, Jody, maybe stick to the fiction in your airport novels. Meantime, ex-CNN host Don Lemon was trying his best to get the answers he wanted for his Man on the Street podcast, except this woman was having no bar of it.
What do you think would happen to Charlie Kirk?
It's just messed up, totally messed up. You know that was messed up. Like, nobody deserved that. He definitely didn't deserve that. He was a good guy.
You think he was a good guy?
I think he was.
Even though he says things...
Don Lemon was trying to get a black person with a gotcha moment. He was disappointed. He was striking out a lot with these street interviews, not getting the reactions he wanted.
They're anti-women, black, all that.
I can't judge him for that.
And Lefty's favorite Joy Reid posted this bizarre video in which she appears to be drinking while staring into her laptop camera, listening to an anti-Kirk ballad.
There's a full-blown fire in America and a fascist on Air Force Two.
But honestly, what hope is there for young people when even little kids are being indoctrinated with such hatred?
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The Vice President died?
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk?
And here we go. This is what we be saying, man. It's the liberal white women behind everything. The liberal white women and the ubiquitous. You know what I'm saying? Got 𝐊𝐒 at the forefront being crash test dummy. The overall beneficiary of DEI policies was liberal white women, bro. Liberal white women are the majority of the voter base of the Democratic Party. We went through the numbers pre-election.
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift.
Sick, and the mum just laughs. We blurred those kids' faces because I'd hope those girls grow up to regret being taught to say things like that. But here's what they risk becoming if they don't.
I've opened X to a bunch of little crying and whinging about how political violence is never the answer. I'm sick of this idea that you can't meet violence with violence. If somebody was smacking you in the face in the corner of a room over and over, you're going to hit them back. You have to. You're not getting out of that unless you do.
The lunacy shows no signs of abating. Now to the latest on the investigation into Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. The FBI has revealed it's found.
Oh, that's a hell of an acronym. Awful, affluent, white, female, liberal. Awful. That's a good one.
The suspect's DNA on the roof where the fatal shot was allegedly fired from. And they've also discovered what appears to be a confession made by the accused in an online group chat where he wrote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. Sorry for all of this." Joining me now for more on this is Sky News contributor 𝐶𝐿 𝐉𝐎𝐾𝐒. 𝐶𝐿, great to see you in Sydney. It would seem investigators are compiling some pretty compelling evidence against Tyler Robinson here. What do you make of these latest developments?
Definitely they're building a case, clearly the criminal case. Many people want the death penalty sought, which is on the books in Utah as well as federally, if they're able to bring a federal charge, which is still unclear. I think what's more interesting from these chats is who else was maybe an accomplice or an accessory or...
Yeah, they're starting to arrest more people. That old man that they arrested the first time, I don't have the segment for this show, but I was reviewing Newsfeed today. They rearrested him. And he admitted that he was actually trying to give the gunman time to flee. But the FBI went through his phone and they found child porn on there, CP. The story's getting weirder and weirder. That's what I'm saying. Y'all blackity blacks do not want to put yourself in a position where you're championing people involved in child porn, CP, furries, dressing up like stuffed animals, ubiquitous transformer shit. Like, bro, you don't want no parts of that. Just stay out of it, bro. Just stay out of it. Lord of Brooklyn says, who would think that threatening a multi-billionaire tech mogul is a good idea? An imbecile. That's who. Yeah, but once again, they got Keisha out in the forefront of it.
Fomenting this kind of attitude. And the reason for that is now the president, the vice president, multiple people have signaled that this is actually an organized domestic terror type group, possibly, where there's people, agitators out there funding it, potentially grooming people or getting them motivated in these chat servers and other places. And is there a case to try and break that down the way you would a criminal enterprise, like the mafia back in the day? So I think that's another thread that they're looking at, that who are these other people he's confessing to? What did they know? When did they know it? What role have they played in addition to him, the person who actually pulled the trigger? So I think a lot more to come on this. And if it spans wider and farther than just the one person who pulled the trigger, that I think is a pretty consequential outcome.
Yeah, frightening to consider that there could have been others who were supporting him and helping to fund this. We're also learning more about his transgender roommate and boyfriend, Tyler Robinson's roommate and boyfriend, that is, a man who was transitioning to become a woman. One of his family members told Fox News that he hates conservatives and Christians and that he hated his family. He was...
Yo, salute the Quiet Storm for the Cash App. As per your request, sir. He said arrest all them weirdos, but first read the Cash App. And basically he's saying,
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
Shit. Got your ass.
Yeah, so from my understanding, they're powwowing, man, and they are contemplating labeling Antifa as a terrorist organization, and especially these trans radical activists. So then they could bring really the full weight of the federal government on them. Go after all of their networks, and that a lot of that money is going to lead to like some Soros funding. That's what that RICO's coming in. Like I said, they're going to slow walk them, but it's about to get dark, baby. Quiet Storm say, yep, basically, yeah, it's about to get dark.
Not raised that way, but he over the years has become really detached, been radicalized. He has obviously gotten progressively worse the last year or two, said the relative, adding he's always very angry. Now all these comments are about the boyfriend who we've seen in reports has been cooperating with the FBI, unlike Tyler Robinson. What are your thoughts on these comments from a family member?
It's so interesting. I feel like we're only scratching the surface with this, and there's so many sensational details emerging. The fact that, first of all, Tyler Robinson came from ostensibly a normal, middle-class, pretty conservative religious family, and then went off to college and completely went off the deep end. Then it emerges he's in a romantic relationship with his roommate, who's...
And bro, we keep saying these colleges are indoctrination camps. Hashim, Shabazz, what up, Playboy? I see you. Salute. Thanks for dropping by the chat, Playboy. Yeah, but like I was saying, he's from a two-parent home. They're Republican, Trump supporters. He goes off, bro. How do you go do all that? Go off to college and end up living with a trans man who's a furry. That means dresses up like a furry animal, and then end up shooting like someone with a rifle. Like, yeah, what is it? I don't know. Is it his sophomore year, or might be freshman year? How does that happen? They got to root this shit out of the universities, the institutions, root and branch, bro.
A transsexual boy trying to transition to female, and also furry, which is a whole other subculture.
I heard you talk about that yesterday on air.
I went down
a whole other rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole I never wanted to go down, and unfortunately.
And this is what I'm talking about. You see how this is weird? Like, bro, all you hoteps and all you blackety blacks trying to jump in the middle of this and spit the same rhetoric as these trans activists that did this, like, you're lumping yourself with like furries and CP networks, child porn networks and all that. Like, bro, that's a bad look, bro. That's a bad look. Y'all need to just sit this one out. Every says 0 Dark 30 is going to be worse than the winner. Yeah, that's there. Yup. 60 days from what I hear. Yup. Yeah, they're going to put old boy on the ground, and you know what I'm saying? Like, after the funeral, you know how that shit go? Like, all I'm saying is, if you watch any of the interviews, everybody is calm as hell, especially J.D. Vance. And I keep telling y'all, J.D. Vance is the killer, bro. He calm as hell. He sat on that, he sat on the Charlie Kirk podcast and just, bro. This might just be the thing they needed to open up the gates on them. See, giving Brad benefit of the doubt, VM would have his past used against them, or blackmail will have his past used against them. Is that what it is, VM?
I did, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
So that's a whole other thing. And
yeah, don't Google furry if you're watching.
It just shows, you know, how weird this whole thing is, and sad and dangerous, obviously. And then the fact that the roommate is cooperating, to me, I don't know, but I would posit that it's for self-preservation purposes, because if, again, he knew anything or was an accomplice of murder, then he potentially is in legal jeopardy as well, and maybe there's some sort of immunity deal or other things happening behind the scenes. I'm sure we'll find out. But this is just going from bizarre to more bizarre, and the juxtaposition against Charlie, this clean-cut, all-American, Christian, young man, married, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, and then these guys just look more and more bizarre on the other side. That is what I think the whole world is seeing, and it's really awakening something, I think.
Yo, she said it. It's looking more and more bizarre on the other side, and y'all jumping out the window. Like, bro, that's between this bizarre side and the full weight of the federal government. Stand back, let them do their work, bro. Y'all wasn't worried about Charlie before this. Like, but I will say this, man, collateral damage. If you want to do it, have at it. You know what I'm saying? That's one less Negro for us to worry about.
People globally, that's beyond what I think anybody even expected.
But as you pointed out, how did he go from this seemingly normal upbringing in a conservative religious family to such far left ideology? At least that's what we're hearing, and from official sources.
Right.
So it is fascinating.
It's every parent's nightmare, worst nightmare. How does that happen? I think parents across America and around the world are really scared and wondering, how can this happen and how can you avoid it?
Yeah, absolutely. US Vice President J.D. Vance, meanwhile, has paid tribute to his late friend Charlie Kirk, hosting a 2-hour memorial broadcast of the Charlie Kirk Show live from the White House. Here's some of what he had to say.
The entire administration is trying to do as much as possible to find everything that we can about what led to this, about how we got here.
No, hold on. This is a bad freeze frame. Hold on. Does he look angry and upset? Is he full of rage or anything? Yo, like I said, I even watched Nick Fuentes after this, and Nick is like, "Hey, we got to be calm. We don't want any violence on our part." Blah blah blah. That's slow. Okay. That's that slow, methodical. Like, yeah, we're gonna really give it to him now. The gloves are off. Ain't nobody yelling and screaming. Oh, it's actually the left doing that. I mean, the right's getting people fired. But when people all calm and cool after something like this, the storm's coming, bro.
Ultimately, how an assassin took Charlie's life. I wanted to zoom out with Stephen a little bit and talk about all of the ways that we're trying to figure out how to prevent this festering violence that you see on the far left from becoming even more and more mainstream. And
look, he's saying it without saying it. He said, we need to decide how to stop all of this festering violence coming from the left from becoming mainstream. That sounds very innocuous, doesn't it? That's a very sanitized phrase, but they're telling you what they're going to do. We're going to find a way to stop this from reaching the mainstream and going any further. They're basically saying we're going to crush this shit.
Vance also announced the Trump administration is preparing to unleash on non-government organizations, left-wing activists, and domestic terror.
Storm said, I'm keeping my head on a swivel and resting my black alinity. You said Nick did it a real quick about face. I don't think he did it about face at all. I think that they are doubling. I think the gloves are off. Nick is not. I listen to Nick. I don't listen to Nick, but I listen to him in this particular instance. And they're trying to align Kirk with Nick Fuentes, but Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk hated each other. Nick Fuentes thought that Charlie Kirk was not, I guess radical enough. He actually thought Charlie Kirk was soft. You know what I'm saying? Tucker Carlson, all of them. Nick can't stand any of the establishment stuff, and he's starting to be slightly anti-MAGA because he thinks they're not doing enough. No, Nick's not doing enough. Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying Nick ain't dumb. He told folks to chill. Exactly. Yeah, he's actually. Everybody's fully doubled down on the right. Even the most moderate people. Everyone's just saying like, yeah, there's no negotiate. The common phrases are like, there's no negotiating with these people, etc., etc. No news. What up, Playboy? He says, sorry I'm late. Caught the caught the itis from the tethered barbecue earlier. Yo, I ain't mad at you. I'll be catching itis before shows too, man.
Terrorist networks advocating violence against conservatives. 𝐘𝐒, he didn't hold back in this.
He didn't.
Yeah, there it is, Saul. Containment. Yeah. You're trying to contain the powder keg while things get put into place.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, that it's more than just one person. Yes, one person pulled the trigger, but there's a whole pyramid, a structure underneath it, including funding with the NGOs and others, overtly, covertly, these other people who sort of, at least narratively, are in these chat rooms and egging each other on, openly calling for assassination of fellow Americans and all of that. He gets it, Stephen Miller gets it. And they are laying the groundwork and saying that they are going to treat this as a domestic terrorist organization. It's happened before in history, like the Weather Underground in the 1970s. Obviously, the mafia was a different thing. So there is a precedent for going after domestic terrorist organizations, and it starts with classifying them as such, Antifa and everything else, and then actually methodically using the resources of the government, trying to dismantle it.
Yeah, I just said that. First, they're going to classify them as terrorists. And now that the terrorists, they don't got to play by no rules. They can go in and they can wipe them out.
And hold people accountable. So if that happens, that is one silver lining, I think, from this very tragic story.
You cannot imagine that possibly happening under a Biden administration. They wouldn't be going after these far left groups if that was the case.
Many people have been sort of thinking about this alternate reality. If Kamala Harris had won, and she came dangerously close to winning, as we know, the election was a landslide, but it was also close. These things can very quickly go in a different direction. And had this happened to Charlie Kirk under that administration, I think you'd see very different.
Nothing would be done, bro. We've been saying that, man. If Kamala Harris had won, yo, we'd all be doomed. The entire economy would have been doomed. Just everything. We'd have full-blown war in Russia. Iran be still developing nuclear weapons, bro. The entire world would be on fire.
For an outcome, so that's another. I don't want to call it a silver lining because it's such a horrible tragedy, but one thing that could have been worse that I think would be better.
Well, America's top diplomat, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, has warned the United States will revoke the visas of people who celebrate the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Here he is.
Well, we revoke visas of people. I don't know. We've revoked visas of people that are inside the country. We've most certainly been denying visas. I mean, think about it. I want everybody to think about this for a moment, okay? You're out there celebrating the assassination in cold blood of someone, and then you want to come in. Why would we want anybody like that in our country as a tourist, as anything? We don't want them here.
𝐘𝐒, it seems like common sense to me.
Yo, I like Rubio more and more. I didn't like Rubio until this administration. I always thought he was a bit of an obnoxious prick. Man, Rubio's like the best Secretary of State we've had in a long time. And he's a pit bull and he's a fighter for American interests. The deep state is still alive and well. What Trump did that is brilliant is that he formed the cabinet of highly capable, highly motivated, and loyal to the MAGA agenda cabinet. So it's like he's got his A team, and even though aspects of the deep state are still in place, with his cabinet and being at the head of various departments, he's able to purge these departments and at the same time act very swiftly on his initiatives and agendas. And this is an abrupt pivot with the death of Charlie Kirk, and we gonna see some action. We gonna see some action. Yo, shout out to Saul with the $5 super chat. He said the situation with Charlie only consolidated the right. And to piggyback on that, what Tito said, yeah, the death of Charlie Kirk is the death of the moderate right in this country. You're gonna have a lot of apathy to I'm gonna restate it to those that's racist statements, like all that pulling a race card and all that shit. Niggas ain't gonna want to hear that shit.
Shit. Got your ass. Am I the meanest?
Show enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Show enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Show enough.
Well, who am I?
Show enough.
Who am I?
Show enough.
I can't hear you.
Show enough.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Where's my son?
I mean, if you're accepting people on character grounds, surely celebrating the assassination, political violence of someone who was just speaking at an event on a college campus shows that you are not a good character if you're celebrating that.
Don't need you. We have enough of our own problems and our own people, many of whom have also been celebrating this, by the way, and are getting fired. And that's a whole other sort of current that's coming out from here, where people are losing their jobs for openly putting this stuff on social media. But they're American citizens, so the greatest consequence is, okay, you get fired or canceled potentially. If you're a foreigner, he has every right as Secretary of State to do that. He did it for a couple of students on the Columbia campus during the agitation that was happening there with the Gaza and anti-Israel protests, for example. It was controversial then as well. The only argument that the other side makes that there's some credibility to is this a slippery slope where an appointed cabinet person, secretary, is able to decide the grounds, and okay, here it's common sense, but is it a slippery slope that you have them willy-nilly canceling visas? But I think the counterpoint is, if you're a guest in a country, show some respect. And if I were an immigrant or living in another country, like, I wouldn't dare say something like this about somebody in Australia, as an example, as a guest here.
You would think.
Yeah, I've been saying that. As a person in another country, I'm not an immigrant. I'm in Peru, but and I was in Colombia, man. You ain't saying nothing about the government or anything else like that. Plus, them people are nationalists over there. They'll fuck you up. I told the story. I was at the bullfight, and they was singing the national anthem. I was there with the homie. He's American too, in the Air Force. We all know the words to the national anthem. And there was this old man next to us, man. This nigga turned around and was looking us right in the face because we wasn't singing. And but we look Colombian because we black, right? And yo, he was in our face like this close. So we just start lip syncing the words in Spanish because he was ice grilling the shit out of us. Yo, it was funny as shit, bro. We was like, is this old man ice grilling the shit out of us? We both looked at each other and he was in our face like, you're not going to sing the national anthem? He was like, all right. Yo, that shit was funny, cuz. Yo, Quiet Storm with the $5 super chat. He says, second laptop for the win. The blonde news anchor, not half bad. Shout out to the Aussie chicks. The blonde Aussies is bad, bro. That's a simp statement. I know. Don't hate me. I think Rita took the day off. The Indian girl. I like her. She's witty. Let's go.
This fucker Robin is spiraling again. His baby mama left him after we cut him from the franchise. Ever since this punk bitch became an alcoholic.
Found this drunk fucker.
Fuck that bitch. I'm gonna drink and get drunk if I want.
Is this the gentleman who ruined the buffet at the Harrow Club this morning?
Yes, sir.
I just bet you are the pride of your department in Detroit.
Is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Harrow Club this morning?
Lower your voice, for Christ's sake.
What, can the guy hear me through the wall?
Yeah, yes, he can.
We're out of time. What do you fancy? Awkward pause, mouth organ? You could play the trombone. You could...
I'd like to play a musical instrument.
Well, how about the mouth organ?
Okay, sounds
It's pretty simple. Just open the box and blow. Yep, that's great. Best I ever heard.
All right, bet. Let's load up this next segment. Speaking of Tether Barbecue, Ilhan Omar is about to get barbecued in the Congress for running her mouth about Kirk. So let's play that segment. I think she's up for censure, and they're going to remove her from being the head of one of the major oversight committees. I believe she's Somali. So she's about to get some work. So let's play this segment. This is Republicans want Ilhan Omar punished for Charlie Kirk comments.
J.B. Pritzker attacking Trump and Republicans as Nazis. Yesterday claiming he'd never said it. He said it multiple times. So let's welcome to the show South Carolina gubernatorial candidate Congresswoman Nancy Mace from House Oversight. Congresswoman, thank you so much. This is difficult stuff to hear in a civilized society. Democrats like J.B. Pritzker, Joe Biden have been attacking Trump and Republicans as Nazis. It's historically, factually wrong and over-the-top heated rhetoric. There's no totalitarian state. There's no camps. There's no destruction of the civil checks and balances here in this country. That's what they claim, and that's not happening.
Well, it's insulting and it's disgusting. And Governor Pritzker of Illinois must think that America is stupid. And we all know that we're smarter than that. You showed it in the reels, in the tapes, in the recordings that he did call Republicans. He did call conservatives Nazis. And this has been going on, as you say, Liz, for years. We've been called Nazis. We've been called Hitler. We've been called fascists. And in fact, Tyler Robinson wrote on one of the bullets to his rifle about fascism. And so this is a motivating factor for those who are advocating for violence. We've seen it from Kamala Harris when she was running for president, calling Donald Trump a fascist. And he's right. This is disgusting. This kind of brainwashing, indoctrination that is happening on college campuses, at schools, middle schools, high schools, elementary schools. We must put an end to it. It's one of the reasons I wrote a letter to the Department of Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, that we needed to fund any institution, school or institution of higher learning that is funding this sort of ideology, this wicked and evil ideology, this violent, murderous ideology. They shouldn't get any taxpayer dollars until they clean up their mess.
Congressman, why did you bring a resolution to remove Democrat Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a far-left Democrat, from her House committee assignments? She said Charlie Kirk's murder was, quote, mortifying, but you're saying she's trying to blame him for his own assassination. What's going on?
Well, she shared content the other day that essentially blamed Charlie Kirk for his own political assassination. She shared content that called him a terrorist. And I watched President Trump's comments yesterday, calling her disgusting. And she's also been very dishonest about this. And, you know, you can't repeat this sort of violent language in the immediate aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, where millions are mourning him. Millions are scared. I know many of us, like myself, have had threats on our families, our children, our employees, ourselves personally. And even President Trump said yesterday he would support her being kicked off her committee. So I filed just moments ago a privilege resolution that will force a vote this week to have her censured and kicked off her committees. And we'll see where people stand.
You know, there's also this. We hear you on that. Nancy Pelosi, former speaker, says she won't take.
She said, we'll see where people stand. That's code for any Republican that doesn't vote for this. We know who you are, and we're going to primary you.
Accountability for the rhetoric. Watch what she said, egging on civil unrest and downplaying a mob destroying statues, civic statues. Watch this.
We cannot take responsibility for the minds that are out there and how they hear it. I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be. It's up to the communities to decide what statues they want to see. I don't care that much about statues. People will do what they do.
Do what they do. Okay, people will do what they do. Congresswoman, let me read this to you. Reuters Ipsos poll. 2/3 of Americans believe harsh political rhetoric is encouraging left violence. There's also this. YouGov also has a new poll of 7 liberal voters. One out of 7 of liberal voters. 1 out of 7 liberal voters said it's okay to feel joy when your political opponent is killed. Rutgers University poll: 55% of self-described liberals would support assassination of Trump. So what's happening here?
Well, we're seeing those celebrations of mass murder and of this killer, Tyler Robinson, all over the country, in schools, on college campuses, at hospitals, medical facilities.
We go back to that number. That's 63%. 63% believe harsh political rhetoric fueling violence. That's the American public. All right? And that number is important when we end up at the By the Numbers segment with Mark over at Rasmussen, when the public are calling for people to get locked up and for a lot of this stuff to be rooted out and over with.
Medical facilities here in Congress, and it must end. We must say enough is enough. We must speak up. We must be bold. We must be the leaders we know we can be to guide us out of this chaos, out of this destruction, and ensure that there are no political murders ever again. It's a tragedy.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be staying on these stories. It's good to have you on.
Yo, Quiet Storm with the $5 super chat. He says, Nancy Mace is on a warpath. She cooked AOC, she roasted Ketanji, and now she's booting ganged Ilhan Omar. Get them all out of here. Hashtag Keisha. Oh, Keisha in Iraq. Do I have that joint? I'm going to have to load that joint up for you. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a F all these hoes.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and you can add, whatchamacallit, you can add this one too.
So, Keisha, what's a high value man to you?
A man that gave me 10 kids, 3 evictions, $10 on Cash App, and still pull up in a Nissan Altima that sound like it got asthma.
All right, let's do Kash Patel, because Kash Patel took appeared before Senate. I believe it was Senate today. Was it Senate? Yeah, or Congress? No, he appeared before Congress regarding the Charlie Kirk shooting. But what is most interesting is his exchange with the slimeball Adam Schiff from California. Let's do this.
My employees will be protected against political retribution. So you're testifying today that you played no role in the firing of even a single.
Say, you heard us? The left were worried about political retribution after the Charlie Kirk incident. So this is a Schiff questioning Patel.
FBI agent for political retribution.
None for political retribution.
And if any FBI agent said you did, they would be lying. Is that your testimony?
I'm only speaking to my actions. Everybody is allowed to make their allegations.
Oh, no, these are allegations against you.
And
so, Mr. Patel, if FBI, senior FBI agents or employees said that you were firing them for political retribution reasons because of the cases they were assigned, you're saying they would be lying. Is that
anyone that was terminated at the FBI was done so for failing to meet the standards, uphold their constitutional oath, and effectuate the mission.
Well,
we can do a team dead ass. We could definitely do a team dead ass. Where we at? Bang. We could do a team dead ass.
By meet the standards, are you talking about meet the standards of protecting the president under any circumstance?
No.
You also guaranteed Senator Blumenthal that every FBI employee will be held to the same, absolute same standard. No one will be terminated for case assignments. Are you testifying today that you never terminated anyone at the FBI in whole or in part because of a prior case assignment?
No one at the FBI is terminated for case assignments alone.
Well, I'm asking about you, Mr. Patel. Did you, in whole or in part, terminate anyone at the FBI because they worked on the Trump investigation or because they worked on January 6th?
No one at the FBI has been terminated for case assignments alone.
Okay, you're saying alone. Does that mean they were terminated in part because they were assigned to a January 6th case or assigned to the Mar-a-Lago case? You're being very precise here, Mr. Patel. You're saying alone. That means they were fired in part because they were assigned those cases. Is that your testimony?
Absolutely not. But if you want to keep
Okay,
putting words
well,
in my mouth,
then
go
let me
ahead.
ask you, let's strip away the word alone. Did you terminate or participate in any discipline of any FBI employee in whole or in part because of their work on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th? Yes or no?
Any terminations at the FBI by employees?
No, I'm
since
asking you a very specific
and I'm
question.
going to answer the question, but you don't like the answer because it's the
No,
truth and it
I
guts
want
your
an answer to my
narrative.
question. I don't want an answer to someone else's question. So let me just be precise, and I ask for a yes or no answer. Did you ever terminate or discipline an FBI employee in whole or in part because they had been assigned or worked on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
FBI
yes or no?
employees are only terminated
Yes
if
or
they
no,
fail
Mr.
to
Patel?
uphold their oaths of
Yes or
office
no?
and duty.
You're not
at the
answering my
FBI
question.
I
You're
don't
not
have to
answering my
answer your question yes or no because you're setting up a trap so you can have a media
I'm not
narrative.
setting up a trap.
And I'm not giving it to you.
Unless it's true that you fired people.
People
in
have
whole
been
or in part
terminated at
because
the
they-
FBI who failed to uphold
You're
the
assigned
standards
to.
that the FBI requires them
Did you
to
tell?
uphold.
Did you tell anyone at the FBI that all FBI employees who they identified who had worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
Say that I would remove people for case assignments?
That you would, that people that were identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs. Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
People are not removed
Just
for case
answer my question.
assignments.
Just answer my question. Did you tell that to
People
someone?
are not removed for case
No,
assignments.
you're not answering my question.
And I would
Mr.
never
Patel,
tell anyone.
Did you tell someone at the FBI that FBI employees identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Yes or no? Did you tell someone that?
I would never tell anyone at the FBI that they're being removed for basically their case assignments.
Okay, so anyone who had said that would be lying. Is that your testimony?
Anyone can say whatever they want.
No, I know, but you're saying they were a liar.
I'm telling you what I said.
Because this is in the complaint against you, Mr. Patel. So you're saying Mr. Driscoll and others are liars?
I'm not going to address the complaint.
He said, I'm telling you what I said.
Have you ever told anyone at the FBI that the FBI tried to put the president in jail and he hasn't forgotten it, and that your job depended on the removal of agents who worked on cases against the president?
No.
Did you ever tell anyone that?
No.
Okay. Did you ever tell anyone that you knew these summary firings you were undertaking were illegal, likely illegal, and that you would be sued and later deposed? Did you ever tell anyone that?
No firings at the FBI or terminations were done for anything other than justified
Did you ever
cause.
tell anyone that, Mr.
No,
Patel? Why don't you
no
answer my question?
terminations at the FBI were ever done in my tenure for anything other than failing.
Did you
to
ever tell
uphold
anyone
their
that,
oath of
Mr. Patel? You willing to
office
answer
or
the
their-
question?
The FBI.
I guess
I
you're
have
not willing to
answered
answer the
it.
question. So let me move on. Let me move on to the Epstein files. You said you're the most transparent FBI director in history, so I'm going to put you to the test. In 2024, you were asked by Glenn Beck about Epstein's Black Book. And you said, he asked, who has Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book? And you said, Black Book FBI. And he said, but who? That is, I mean, there's, and you said, oh, that's under the direct control of the director of the FBI. That's what you said. Was that true, Mr. Patel?
I'll rely on you quoting it accurately. I did that a couple
Was
of
it
years
true
ago.
what you represented to Mr. Beck and the president's supporters out there?
That's a setup also, because we already covered this. All the documents for the Epstein files were held in the FBI office in Manhattan, New York, under the Biden administration. By the time Patel got all those documents, everything of importance have been shredded and redacted, bro.
There, or were you lying?
No.
Was it true that the Black Book, Epstein's Black Book, was in the possession of the FBI director?
The Black Book was in the possession of the FBI.
Okay, so now that you're the FBI director, you have possession of the Black Book, right?
That index has been released.
So you have Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book?
What is known as Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book has been released
Okay,
by
and
us.
And you released it. And let me follow up on Senator Kennedy's question, because he asked you, and I'll be very precise here. You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself? And you said himself, there's no credible information, none. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And Kennedy, the information we have again is limited. And Senator Kennedy said, the answer is no one. And you said for the information we have. So is it your testimony today that in all the Epstein files, that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked no one to anyone but himself? Is that your testimony, Mr.
I never
Patel?
said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic anyone else.
Did he traffic any young woman to someone other than himself? That was Mr. Kennedy's question,
And I
Senator Kennedy's
said
question.
the information that 3 administrations have had access to
I'm
have
asking
made
you-
determinations that there are no investigative.
Exactly. Because they didn't follow up any of this under the Biden administration, and they had the information fresh. So whatever Patel's got is whatever's been left from the shredder and being redacted. I told you it ended up being a nothing burger. They do know Clinton was at the island 24 times. They got flight records and all that other stuff. They got tons of shit, nothing that they can make a case with. And Trump is like, shit, I'm not in the file, so screw it, keep it moving.
Leads that were credible to prosecute and investigate any others. I'm
Well,
specifically
I'm asking
stating
you whether
we
it's
were
your
working
testimony today.
Well, you just read it, and I
I'm-
said it
I'm-
10 minutes ago, so let the record reflect my
I
testimony.
just want to make sure there's no misunderstanding because there are victims like
Yeah, you wasn't, but yeah, that's what, and it's almost a setup. Like Schiff already knows the file's been burned. Yo, here you go, Shabazz hit it right on the head. There you go, Playboy. The Biden administration burnt it. Yeah, and it's like Schiff already know. She's like, well, why aren't you releasing them? You got them. You like, yeah, he knows because he knows there's nothing there. Because, like I said, guarantee you, damn near half the Biden administration was. Well, we know Clinton was in the files. We know that. Speaking of which, Quiet Storm. Couldn't find Iraq, Keisha in Iraq, but we'll do these instead.
WHR, would y'all let me fly the plane to Iran? I thought B2 was my apartment number. Oh my God, did I just start the war? Hold up, Keisha, I'll call you back. What the fuck you want?
Hi, ma'am. You've been drafted.
Yeah, fucking right, bitch. I ain't ever opening the damn door for no white person ever again. Fuck that dude, Brad or Billy or dipshit, whatever the fuck. Can't believe they got my pretty ass out here going to boot camp. They done got me all the way fucked up.
Michael Hunt, Chase A. Deek, or Attic. Sorry, Shanika Manning.
It's Shaniqua, bitch. I know damn well that you know who the fuck I
Excuse
am.
me, you need to calm the fuck down, Sharkeisha. This isn't your hood-ass ratchet nail salon. You ain't with your fucking Cheeto finger-licking bitches here, okay?
Damn, girl, this actually feels kind of good.
Niggas gay, niggas gay, niggas gay, niggas gay, niggas gay.
Hey, Shaniqua, I know we got off on the wrong foot, so we got you this new Nissan Altima to crash into the enemy with.
Brad ain't no fucking way. That's all mine? Fuck these motherfuckers. I'm getting the hell out of here. I need me some fried chicken, a new weave, and some nails. I ain't got no time to be saving the world and shit.
Yo, that shit never gets old. Yo, Hashim got it right too. What he said, Hashim Shabazz says, remember they had those burn bags that the FBI and they were being used before they got in? Yeah, found all the burn bags before they was having shred parties and burn bag parties in all the departments, State Department and everything before Trump got sworn in. And over at the FBI, Cash and his team found that's how they found a whole bunch of documents. They found burn bags that were filled, but they didn't get a chance to burn them. So they were hidden in the FBI offices, hoping they got 1 million files over there. They're hoping nobody would find them. They found burn bags with the documents they was trying to get rid of. You said that one was way better than Keisha in Iraq? Man, I try. I be digging in the crates, bro. All right, that's what I be saying too, though, about Trump's team, man. They are good with the media, and they're good with handling these hostile congressmen and senators. They push back, and they be making them look like fools.
Junior Weaver, who have testified otherwise, who have said otherwise, and you're telling the American people today that the Epstein list is a single name and it's Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we're to believe?
That's not what I'm saying. That's what you're saying. And you can say whatever you want.
Let me ask you this. When Todd Blanche went to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, she said, but did I think these guys were coming for that? I really don't. If you met Epstein, there's no way that this cast of characters, of which it's extraordinary, and some are in your cabinet who you value as your co-workers and would be with him if he was a creep or because they wanted sexual favors. A man wants sexual favors, he will find that. They didn't have to come to Epstein for that. And the next question Todd Blanche, the president's former criminal defense lawyer, asked is not who in the cabinet, who are you referring to? His question is, so when's the last time you think you were with Mr. Epstein when he got a massage? So let me ask you, who are those cabinet members that Ghislaine Maxwell was referring to that were part of this cast of characters associated with Mr. Epstein? Who are they?
The Deputy Attorney General took the aggressive step that no one else did and interviewed Miss Maxwell for 2 days, and we released the entirety of that transcript. I do not have that transcript in front of me. You're picking it piecemeal. The American public can read the entirety of that.
One last question, because you clearly won't tell us the cabinet members associated with Mr. Epstein. Let me ask you one last question. And that is, right after she gives this testimony in front of an FBI agent, among others, she's transferred to a minimum security prison not suitable for a sex offender like herself. Who made that decision and why?
The Bureau of Prisons.
The Bureau of Decisions made it in
prisons.
The Bureau of Prisons decided on their own, without any consultation with Blanche or anyone else, that they were going to suddenly, after this interview, completely unrelated to this interview, completely unrelated to anything she said, move her to a prison not suitable for a sex offender. You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of inmates.
Not in the weeds.
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
Damn.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put.
Yo, Trump got a team of savages, bro. He got a team of savages. Give him the smackdown.
On a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform. Point of order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump
do? That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
You said
take
I'm the
control
most
of this
transparent
situation.
FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
You be quiet.
Yo, Cash is a savage.
Without objection, want to introduce into the record the Durham Annex. The Durham.
Yo, that's whole facts. Game over. Yo, Trump got a team of savages. Game over. Shit, I don't know if we need to see any more of that. We don't need to see no more of that. Man. I'll ask him for that sound drop. He could email me the MP3, man. I don't know if he's gonna do it. That's his signature sound. I mean, shit, if we start doing our walk bar under this Trump administration, we might get in trouble for that shit on YouTube now. Quiet Storm with $2 super chat. He said, I wish you had that Obsidian Allahu Akbar drop. Hey, let's do a Keisha again.
Hold up, Keisha. I'll call you back. What the fuck you want?
Hi, ma'am. You've been drafted.
Yeah, fucking right, bitch. I ain't ever opening the damn door for no white person ever again. Fuck that dude, Brad or Billy or dipshit, whatever the fuck. Can't believe they got my pretty ass out here going to boot camp. They done got me all the way fucked up.
Michael Hunt, Chase A. Deek, or Attic. Sorry, Shanika Manning?
It's Shaniqua, bitch. I know damn well that you know who the fuck I am.
Excuse me, you need to calm the fuck down, Sharkeisha. This isn't your hood-ass ratchet nail salon. You ain't with your fucking Cheeto finger-licking bitches here, okay?
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
All right, let's Trump sending troops to Memphis. Let's do this Memphis segment. Then I got an AI segment. Then we're gonna do by the numbers and get out of here.
President Trump is once again expanding the use of the National Guard in his crackdown on crime, saying he will send troops to Memphis, Tennessee. And CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdez joins us in Memphis there. Nicole, what has the response been like there to the president's announcement?
Yeah, we spent really much of the day today talking to people who have lived in Memphis for really their whole lives that have different opinions, different perspectives, right, on what they are looking to find out, what could potentially happen if we do see the National Guard make its way into the city of Memphis. Some people say they welcome the opportunity to have another agency here to try to help continue lowering the crime rate. We did do an analysis here at CBS News, our data team, showing that violent crime has actually decreased in the first 9 months of this year, which a lot of people are very happy to see, but they recognize that crime is still very much a problem here in the city of Memphis, something that, of course, you've heard the president say several times in the last few days. It's why he now wants to send National Guard troops in. Today, he made that announcement calling it the Memphis Safe Task Force, and he says it's not just going to be the National Guard that's a part of that effort. He says it will include the FBI, ATF, DEA, Homeland Security, U.S. Marshals, and also involve the Department of Justice. He said the entire operation will be headed by Pam Bondi. So you've got a lot of different agencies that will now be involved in this operation. It won't be just the National Guardsmen and their presence here. So while some business owners here say they welcome the opportunity, they say they want to take advantage of this and hope it will lead to positive change for Memphis, there are others who worry that it could do more harm than good, scare a lot of people who live in this community. And of course, there are a lot of questions about where will they be? How will they be operating in the city? How will they be working with the police and with those task force here? Will they be involved in policing, in law enforcement? A lot of questions still to be answered.
Nicole Valdez joining us from a very bustling Memphis. Thank you very much, Nicole.
All right, bet. Storm said, did Trump ever officially send National Guard to Chicago? No, he bypassed Chicago and went to Memphis because Memphis has a Republican governor, although Memphis is a Democrat. Well, Tennessee has a Republican governor, although Memphis is a Democratic city. So he got permission from the governor of Tennessee to send troops into his state. The state supersedes the city, so checkmate. Question says we was waiting for the results when when Charlie Kirk news dominated the news streams. Everything was Kirk for like 48 hours. It was crazy. Let's do this quick AI segment. AI and the job market, as it were. We'll load that up and then we'll do by the numbers and get up out of here. In the meantime, here's a news drop.
I'm Tom Tucker with some breaking news. A local kidnapping has rocked Quahog tonight. Rocked Quahog? Really? The whole town is the family maybe is rocked, but the whole. All right. Well, in any event, we now go live to Asian reporter Trisha Takanawa. Let's see how much she's rocked by all this. Trisha?
Tom, I'm standing here with Mayor Adam West with the latest information about the disappearance of young Scotty Jennings. What can you tell us, Mr. Mayor?
Please, Mr. Mayor is my father. Call me John Mayor. Your body is a wonderland, by the way.
What is the city doing to help rescue the missing boy?
Well, we're looking for this child using all the latest technology, including the newest, most advanced multimedia milk cartons.
Help me, I'm missing! Help! Why are you still eating breakfast? I'm kidnapped! Why are you turning me the other way? I'm still here!
All right, bet. So this is it's from Bloomberg. AI boom, entry-level bust. Why college grads are struggling to land jobs.
Recent college graduates trying to start their careers. There is no question that AI is here to stay. Just last month, we reported that Anthropic, a company that didn't exist 6 years ago, could be worth more than Nike or Starbucks.
Anthropic, 170 billion, XAI in talks for 200 billion, and I think there's nowhere to go but up.
And there's no question that at least some employees stand to make a great deal of money for their ride on the AI train.
Apple's top executive in charge of AI models is leaving for Meta Platforms.
I'm told the pay package is probably somewhere north of $200 million.
We have never seen anything like this before, and there's a lot we don't know about what it will do for business and the economy. But we do know that leaders of the world's largest and most powerful firms expect a tidal wave. They are prepared.
Man, everybody in Theo's class 7 AI class, bro, we're ahead of the curve, bro. Like, you see it right here. We're gonna go through this segment. It's a great time to be in class 7. If you can hang in there, get everything done, and you will be primed for this market. $1 trillion industry being born right in front of our eyes.
Preparing for it. And already some people are feeling the effects on the ground right now. People not at the very top of the corporate ladder, but those trying to get a step on the bottom rung. This year, Jacob Ayub and Tiffany Lee are joining millions of their fellow college graduates trying to get their careers started.
This is just one of the case studies that I've done, but it's pretty representative of what you can expect if you're applying for any full-time role at a private equity company. Luckily, Boston College does a
Everybody said, will you be going over dark money again or do an update? Yeah, we didn't get through the that whole dark money segment. I believe it was last week or week before last. We ran out of time. So I can revisit that tomorrow night. All right, good looking. Yeah. We were going through like the whole Soros connection. Oh boy, one of the black political content creators, he had connected a lot of the dots. So yeah, we can actually revisit that.
really good job of setting that financial background. We've done in-class DCFs, in-class LBOs.
Here's your iced matcha skim milk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. I have a few case studies on my portfolio just showcasing the work that I've done
at school for the companies and nonprofits that I've worked for. The last experience I have is another contract role with a startup that I did through a club at Cornell as well.
They have studied different subjects at different schools. Tiffany, Information Science and Psychology at Cornell, Jacob, Economics and Finance at Boston College. But the two graduates have a lot in common. They both got good grades, networked widely, and landed prestigious internships. Tiffany at Apple and Jacob at a boutique private equity firm. And for both, it has yet to add up to a job.
Since graduating college, I would say I've applied to around 200 jobs.
I would say I've applied to about 150, maybe more now.
Some of the interview processes consist of constructing models and valuations. Some of them are pitch decks.
I made it to the final round for one big tech company. Didn't end up getting it. I'm past round 2 for another one. And the other ones either haven't heard back or just ghosted. Yeah.
It's a story that's becoming more common, and it's being reflected in an unusual new trend in the economic data. As far back as the numbers go, the unemployment rate for recent college graduates has been below the rate for all U.S. workers. But over the past few years, unemployment among recent grads climbed above the rate for the broader population.
This is essentially the first time on an ongoing basis that this has occurred in the 45 plus years that we have data going back to.
Matthew Martin is a senior economist at Oxford Economics.
You said that's crazy application number, Zeke? No, it ain't. Before I left to Columbia, I had applied to over 400 jobs because I left Santander Bank, and that's right when Biden was crashing the economy. And I remember being on the phone with Saul and a couple of my day ones being like, bro, I didn't apply to all these jobs. And I started saying, yo, I don't think some of these jobs are real. And that's before people started saying that the term ghost job was out. Yeah, I applied to over 400 plus gigs during the Biden administration. And that's why I be saying about the interest rates and all that, because he killed the banks. And I didn't know then, we didn't understand then that they were funneling all of the money through the banks, but giving it to the illegal migrants. And when you do that, you don't need underwriters and stuff for that because they don't have any documents. Like a typical underwrite, you get income statements, credit reports, tax returns, etc., etc., etc. You got to disclose properties, business bank accounts, assets, etc. And that's where your underwrite comes from. Calculate your debt to rate, DTIs and what have you. So so the government was giving the banks the money, and the banks were basically giving the money to the illegals to buy homes and cars, etc., etc. And the government was basically backing the loans. It killed the bank. So for people working in operations at the banks, it killed the shit. So yeah. So actually 100, 200 applications, those is low numbers, homie.
So really, this is pointing towards a lot of people who have that higher educational attainment are actually worse off than many of their peers who have lower educational attainment. That's an interesting dynamic to have in a market where you're told you go to college, you work hard, you'll have a job after graduation. And unfortunately for many at the moment, that's just not happening.
Recent college grads may be having a harder time right now finding their first job, but it depends in part on what kind of job they're seeking. Entry-level jobs in the areas Tiffany and Jacob want, tech and finance respectively.
Yo, spot on, Quiet Storm. Yeah, you hit it right on the head, bro. He said a lot of them jobs are already filled on the low, yup. But they advertise them to keep HR employed. Recruiters, I dealt with a lot of recruiters too. Got the first, second round interviews, sometimes even third round interviews. Recruiters just solicit random people who will never get interviews to satisfy the work schedules. Spot on. I know that firsthand. And they're just starting to do features on it. But that was, yeah, all during the Biden administration, bro. Trump is in here. He's at the beginning of the tail end trying to repair all this shit.
Turn out to be particularly hard to find.
A lot of my peers who were in years advanced from me and trying to give me insights on how the process worked all either had internships or were in the process of getting them or had full-time offers. And these are sometimes people that are just juniors who have a full-time offer at a bank or a different firm. And I think with my graduation class, there's been a pretty drastic change. I'd say about 50% of my graduating class is unemployed.
I see a lot of job descriptions that are asking for like 2 years of experience or like 3 years of experience. And in design specifically, it's been pretty hard. I think it's just a very saturated field and there's a lot of talent out there.
Tech is one of those that has been really slowed down. A lot of that comes down to the hiring boom that they did post-pandemic and them looking to right size. You also have other mathematical occupations in finance, legal, some of these fields that you would, again, have been in high demand over the last couple of years that just aren't seeing as much.
Economists say the reasons can be difficult to trace. Some of it is likely the overall labor market cooling after the post-pandemic hiring surge. But now there's a new cause coming on the scene: artificial intelligence.
AI will leave a lot of white-collar people behind.
All junior-level jobs in any industry are at high risk.
This is like a tsunami hitting the labor market.
For months, economists and executives have been raising concerns about AI or publicly embracing it, sometimes both. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy wrote a note to employees in June saying that AI would change the way work is done at the tech giant and that jobs would be cut as AI increased efficiency. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei told one news outlet that AI could potentially wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and send unemployment rates surging. We may not be seeing anything quite that bad yet, but AI's impact does seem to be showing up in unemployment figures for recent college graduates.
I think there is definitely a link between the two. It's hard to parse through and just say, X amount of this issue is because of AI, X amount is because of just slower demand overall. But when we look at the numbers, there definitely could be a connection there. So one of the things we're seeing is that the tech sector is one of the industries with the highest adoption rates of AI. They have around 25% adoption rates for all businesses using it in their day-to-day operations, whereas the national average is around 5%. So clearly the sector is just using it more in general. And then when we look into specifically the recent college graduate data, we see that in the last couple years, employment for recent college grads, 22 to 27, they've seen a decrease in employment opportunities overall. Whereas if you look in the same fields for those 28 and onwards, they've actually seen, slightly flat to maybe a little bit up overall.
A similar story appears in the latest company hiring data. An analysis by Indeed, conducted for Wall Street Week, shows junior-level job postings have tumbled over the last 2 years and are now 21% below their pre-pandemic level, even as senior-level openings are up. Although tech may be one area where AI is particularly affecting entry-level positions, it's not the only one. As Martin says, they see vulnerability in finance jobs like the one that Jacob is seeking. To learn more, we sat down with Blair Efron, co-founder of Centerview Partners, one of the world's most prestigious investment banks.
We see an awful lot of money being invested in AI. Are we far enough into the process now to know whether it's going to work? Now, obviously, there are different ways it could work, high, medium, low, but do we know it's fundamentally going to work, that there's no chance this is a bubble?
So it's not a bubble. I am always a believer in progress. AI is progress. Over the long haul, it'll be good. In the short term, I have big concerns. I believe the impact on employment is going to be dramatic sooner than we think. Now, with that said, AI for us, as an example, is a positive. We're less focused on productivity, more focused on freeing up someone's time so that they can use that time more productively. But given all the positives, we have to absolutely look out for the watch out sign. What is going to go on with employment?
One outcome could be a workforce that looks very different than it does today. Fewer jobs in computer science, finance, or law, and more jobs that benefit from interpersonal interaction. Matthew Martin says these trends are already showing up in the data, whether or not they can be traced to AI, and they are affecting men and women differently.
While the recent college graduate unemployment has raised overall, it's really been concentrated in males specifically. A lot of that comes down to, what industries are they looking to work in? If we do a quick breakout of the industries of recent college graduates, females tend to move towards healthcare services and educational services where demand's quite high. I think between those two, they account for over 40% of recent college graduates for females, whereas males specifically in healthcare services only accounts for around 5%. So it's an imbalance of what positions are these males versus females going into. Males tend to skew towards these computer science professions, whether that's programming or the tech sector just in general. That's closer to 20 to 25% for them. So you just have this imbalance of males tending to want to go to these industries where demand is really low at the moment, whereas females are entering industries where demand remains quite high.
Although a picture of AI's economic impact may be just starting to come into focus, we can be sure that the best and the worst are yet to come.
All right, cool. That's that segment. And here, I wanted to get that comment. No News said, some folks work themselves out of a job by complaining. Quiet Storm says, other folks just made themselves obsolete because they got complacent and refused to adapt to technology. Cough, cough. Keisha. AI introduced Keisha to Boot Gang. Yo, we seeing it. STEM for men. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let's do by the numbers and get the hell up out of here. Okay, let's get that. Let's do STEM for numbers. All right, let's load up this by the numbers segment. I think I got it queued too. So let's just take it from here. This is our guy Mark over at Rasmussen or Rasmussen. I prefer Rasmussen. He said, shock, America has changed forever, and demands executions. So we're gonna go through some numbers. Let's rock out. Time to nerd out.
At least 4 times more likely to say the problem of violent crime is getting worse, not better. And in advance of the presidential election, half of America said that just in the last year, violent crime was getting worse. Then we had a reading of this from, I think, a couple of months ago, and better was up a lot. It was up, I think, above 30, and worse was, I think, about in the low 40s. So I don't think these numbers have changed, but I think better has dropped down a few points. And so I feel like people are becoming more cognizant of existing crime. That's my theory on what's happening here. And Democrats and Republicans are pretty identical, which is kind of wild because under Republican administration, I think this number was higher. I don't have the time to pull it up. But for only 27% of Republicans to say that violent crime is getting better under a Republican president is a big deal because usually it flip-flops. Second, a Republican gets elected, the Democrats are mad, and then vice versa. So I think that this is a response probably to Charlotte and probably to Charlie Kirk. And quite frankly, probably mostly to Charlotte. Because I don't even know how many of these people know who Charlie Kirk was or had even heard the news yet. I think the assassination was only 4 hours old when we opened up sample collection.
Okay, so these are very recent numbers, and this data set just well, he said opened up, but basically opened and closed during the cusp of what happened to Charlie. So this is a very, very recent data set. It's like, what is it? Charlie's been going 3 days. So yeah, this is about this data set's about 3 days old. So let's go.
Which party do you trust more to handle crime and law enforcement issues? And in a poll with the Democrat plus 3 generic ballot, Republicans are up 6. That's pretty strong. So maybe that's like, oh, their minds are starting to change, and maybe that means the generic ballot will drift to the right. I don't know, but looking at the party numbers, there's a crossover advantage. And this is something we commonly saw during Biden, which is that Republicans led on all the issues because there was a Democrat crossover. And independents had a Republican lead. This feels very much like the polling of June. Not this June, last June, with Biden still on the ticket. And so it could be a conservative response bias, because I don't think it would have been like this if I had asked this a month or two ago. I think the lead would have been more narrow and independents would have been split and there would have been less crossover. So what this could mean is that complacent Republicans who have not been answering my polls all of a sudden woke the hell up. I think that might be what's happening, to be honest with you. And you could say, well, then that just means it's response biases and Americans' opinions aren't changing. No, they're changing too. Because remember, part of what dictates an election is whether people decide that they are going to or need to vote. It could be a reversal from Epstein stuff too. I don't know. But like, this is a pretty big crossover advantage. What are we talking about? 78 minus 15. 63 to 75, 8 points. No. 7, no, way more than that. Oh man, my math's horrible. 12 points. Huge. Is America too soft or too hard on violent criminals? Too soft, 52%. Too hard, 11%. Only 11% of people. 26% about right. So a majority of Americans want us to be harsher on violent criminals. Only 11% want us to be less harsh. No gender signal. And all races, or all ages, but 18 to 29-year-olds are least likely to say too soft. They don't know a lot, though, either. White voters, 53% too soft, 8% too hard. I'm telling you, I think this arena thing is big. As you'll see, I mean, a lot of people you'll see, but also black people think. So it's not like this whole thing where black people ubiquitously want cashless bail and prison reform. No, they think America is too soft on violent criminals. Black people do.
And I would venture to say that data set for black people, I'm trying to tell you, that's male respondents. Keisha's promote that joint. I'm telling you. These poll numbers, they're giving Trump the green light to go and clean things up, despite all the chatter that you're hearing on social media and what's being pushed by mainstream media. Rasmussen's like the best in the business. You see the temperature of the country is definitely changing toward a more, okay, we're tired of this shit. Lock these people up. Get these illegals up out of here. Bring back the death penalty. I'm telling you,
because this affects their communities as well, which is totally a non-controversial, non-racial thing to say. It's racist to think the other thing. 68% of Republicans say too soft. 12% say too hard. By far, Democrats say too soft. Only 11% of Democrats say too hard.
That's there you go. And that's the number. Only 11% of Democrats say too soft. So even irregardless of what you're hearing on MSNBC, CNBC, all the Democratic, basically propaganda news networks, and so you got like a silent majority going on with the Democrats. Even the Democrats don't like what's going on in their party. And you've seen that by the voter registration and the turnouts and what have you. So also across the board, all races, ethnicities, age groups, and party affiliation. It's like a silent nod to Trump, like, yo, send the troops, get these people out of here, shut this shit down, get this country back in order.
Only actually 14% more conservatives say too hard than liberals. That's kind of weird. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't think anybody's above. People who somewhat disapprove of President Trump are almost at 20. Was that the highest number? Third-party voters, they're too busy smoking their marijuana and voting for that goofus that ran for the Libertarian Party. I don't know. Okay. Do you have a very favorable, somewhat unfavorable, or very unfavorable impression of Black Lives Matter? I don't think we checked up on this one for a while. It's still favorable, 50%. I think it's down, though. And what's that? That's 41%. So it's +9.
All right, I want to see if he's going to do a crosstabs for the Black Lives Matter question. I want to know who was polled and by what percentage. If it's up,
that's kind of wild. That's more favorable than Donald Trump's job performances. That's probably white guilt speaking, but we'll look at, and it's not like a woman thing. The men, it's the exact same number. The over 65s are least likely to have a favorable impression, 44% to 46%. Probably Fox News watchers. No, 47% of white voters have a favorable impression of Black Lives Matter. 43% do not. I don't think a lot of these people know that it was like a massive money laundering operation. Only 29.
Bingo. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's the effectiveness of the propaganda around Black Lives Matter. People don't it's the sloganization of it. People don't realize that it was a ubiquitous Marxist movement. It doesn't have anything at all to do with Black Lives Matter. And they laundered all the money. Long paid.
Percent of Republicans have a favorable impression, 63% unfavorable, but only 46% very unfavorable. It was literally torching cities. And look at like the Democrats are like, we love it. We love Black Lives Matter. That's what we're here for. Self-ID liberals, 83%. Oh man. But it gets better. This is good. So this puts Black Lives Matter in perspective. People are just being polite. Which statement is closer to your own point of view? Nobody else will ask these questions. I can tell you that now. Much to Scott.
All right, so you see that. So like if you're watching mainstream news, they would take a poll number percentage like that and be like, yeah, you see how it's all. But you see what Mark does? He's breaking down like the follow-up questions to break up because you see how he's trying to figure out in real time, like, damn, how's that number so high for Black Lives Matter? Like, and normally they would announce that number, like in the recent poll by so-and-so is how it says, so yeah. But he's showing you the magic behind the numbers with these follow-up questions.
At Adam's chagrin, we asked All Lives Matter, and we asked, is it okay to be white? And we asked, can Black people be racist too? And the Southern Poverty Law Center put a page out on us that we were a hate organization because we asked Americans questions. It's pretty unbelievable. So, which is closer to your opinion, that Black Lives Matter or that all lives matter? And mostly people get it right. 20% say Black Lives Matter, 65% say all lives matter. This is a lot of a bigger lead than in June of 2020. In June of 2020, all lives matter, I think, led by only a little bit less than a 2-to-1 margin. It was like 1.9 to 1, I think. So this is a move in the right direction. Again, I'm telling you, the political correctness is dying. People are emboldened to say all lives matter when you would have been canceled for that. You would have gotten fired from your job if you said all lives matter and your boss heard you. That's a reality. Summer of 2020. Now, people said it to a pollster. They refused to say it online. They refused to say it. They basically said it on 4chan. That's where you're allowed to go to get all lives matter out of your system. And a majority of Black voters say all lives matter, 51% to 33%. And only 33% of Black voters say that they would be more likely to say that Black Lives Matter. Yeah, not much of an age signal too, but also the young ones go in the wrong direction. But that's probably an overlap with two things: increasing liberal self-ID in the younger ages, but also increasing misunderstanding of the word moderate. So there's a lot of people in the 18 to 29-year-olds that call themselves moderate, vote for Trump, but are really liberal. It's really strange. Democrats, a majority of Democrats say all lives matter. 80% almost of Republicans. It's like over.
Yeah, Irvin, exactly. He said, yeah, that's exactly what Osmond Gold said. Yeah, folks aren't just tired, they're numb. And I'm glad you brought Osmond up. I don't think he streamed anything recently. I know he took like a couple days off, but I want to see where he falls down if he streams anything on the Charlie Kirk thing, because his audience is massive, and basically whatever position he ends up taking, that'll be like a unscientific sentiment analysis of a huge swath of the Gen Z, even some alphas sentiment on the Charlie Kirk thing. That'd be a good piece of social experiment.
8-1, and independent 60-17. All right. Have you heard about the recent stabbing death of a young Ukrainian woman?
Oh yeah, that's right. His dad's got cancer, right?
Woman named Irina Zarutska on a train in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think the story with the video, again, this murder happened on August 22nd, I believe, but the video didn't come out until, Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. Maybe Monday. 7 in 10 voters heard about the story. Only 25% had not, even though they're terminally online. Less 18 to 29-year-olds had heard about it. Less black voters had heard about it, but still a majority, 58%. Most of the 65 and older. So this is probably
all right, this is him doing polling on the Ukrainian girl.
Featured heavily on Fox News. It's not CNN and MSNBC viewers because they weren't paying attention at all. There was a complete media blackout. Maybe they saw it on Facebook. I don't know. Now, not much of a difference in party. A lot of Democrats saw it, 66%. Republicans and independents, 74 and 73. Have you seen a photo or video of Irina Zarutska and her alleged killer on the train? And the reason I wanted to ask this, you'll see, is that I think that symbols are very important. And I think that the images of her, horrifying though they were, going to have a major impact on the American psyche. Now, I don't know if the Charlie Kirk story is going to push her story out of the current zeitgeist, but those murals are going to go up. People are going to remember this story. It's going to be in the news a lot. And Trump would be wise. And again, people will say, oh, you shouldn't politicize this stuff. I'm a freaking pollster. It's my job. Trump would be wise to lean into this. First off, I think the Senate race is going to be about this because Roy Cooper's already trying to dodge responsibility. And I think these murals are going to be talked about a lot. And I think that Trump pumped the brakes on going into Chicago with the National Guard. But after the Charlie Kirk assassination, I think he's going to maybe potentially reconsider his strategy. 6 in 10 voters have seen an image. Only 36% have not.
Yeah, I want to see his polling and data sets and what questions get asked, because he's going to put a new polling data sample out. I want to see what the numbers look like now post Charlie Kirk.
Again, fewer younger people, which I don't get, and not a majority of Democrats. Only 49% of Democrats, but 68% of Republicans. Now, I think that this is because of the media blackout. This is not an opinion question. It's have you seen picture or not? And so Democrats don't even know the story exists. 66% said they heard about it. Well, maybe they're lying, but only half of them even saw a photo, and there's a complete media blackout for a lot of the stuff they consume, and it's pretty wild. But we're going to start to heat up here. Police have charged DeCarlos Brown, a 34-year-old black man, with fatally stabbing Irina Zarutska. Do you believe DeCarlos Brown is guilty of murder? 64% yes, 8% no. Massive and overwhelming. I mean, obviously, right? He's standing over her with the knife. There's video of it. But you'd be surprised. I expected a higher number of people who said no. 22% of 18 to 29-year-olds, 18% of black voters say no. 10% of Democrats, but only 53% of Democrats say yes. So that's the thing. 38%, oh, not sure. Now, remember, 66% say they've heard about it. But only 53% think he's guilty. So a lot of those people heard about it, saw the video, and are like, I'm still not sure. I think it's like they're glitching out. Cognitive dissonance. Republicans 75% to 7, independents 64 to 7. Pretty good. But here's what I wanted to get at, though, too, is that, okay, we have you seen a photo? People who have seen a photo or video think he's guilty 86% to 4. People who haven't, 31 to 14. Symbols are important. Everybody who's seen this. So there's no aspect of like, it wasn't his fault. Mental health system did it. I'm a Democrat and I can't break ranks on this. Anybody who's seen this image is like, nope, he's guilty. As we know he is, but we're talking about the largest gaslighting operation in America. This is good. This is people who are like, you know what? There are some lines I shouldn't cross. And again, when we're talking about the ghouls who celebrate Charlie Kirk's murder, we're talking about a very small minority of them. The problem is a lot of those people are influential and at the top, and they get engagement from it. That's what drives engagement for them. And so their whole machine is set up to worship this stuff, even though the bulk of their voters don't. And so it takes a death by 1,000 cuts to rob the Democrats of their very loyal, high turnout core through things like this. And that happened during the Biden administration. Trump narrowly won, despite how horrifyingly Biden was. But
all right, we'll end on that note. All right, guys, that's my time for the evening. We are at the 1 hour and 53-minute mark. Man, thanks for all the super chats. Thank you guys for supporting the stream, man. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. I'll comb the news feeds. I'll see you guys in the chat. Short stream going to be popping tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff to post. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me, man. Appreciate you guys. Brother Zeke says, excellent show. Shout out to Rasmussen. Yeah, I mean, Rasmussen's a good find for us to do the we do the elections channel, and we do I think Red Eagle Politics, but I think Rasmussen's got the best polling methodology, and he explains the numbers like nobody else. Like I said, that being said, man, I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me, helping making the news desk segments very popular. Until next time, man, good night and good luck.
WHR, would y'all let me fly the plane to Iran? I thought B2 was my apartment number. Oh my God, did I just start the war?
Good evening, I'm Tom Tucker with some breaking news. A local kidnapping has rocked Quahog tonight. Rocked Quahog? Really? The whole town is the family maybe is rocked, but the whole... All right, well, in any event, we now go live to Asian reporter Trisha Takanawa. Let's see how much she's rocked by all this. Trisha?
Tom, I'm standing here with Mayor Adam West with the latest information about the disappearance of young Scotty Jennings. What can you tell us, Mr. Mayor?
Please, Mr. Mayor is my father. Call me John Mayer. Your body is a wonderland, by the way.
What is the city doing to help rescue the missing boy?
Well, we're looking for this child using all the latest technology, including the newest, most advanced multimedia milk cartons.
Help me, I'm missing! Help! Why are you still eating breakfast? I'm kidnapped! Why are you turning me... Sorry.
Hey, where's Stewie? That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.